Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of the Cartridge and Disc Podcast. This is your Gen X gamer here. And today, guys, I want to explain a little bit of the anger or like the PTSD that Mike was referring to in his statement yesterday, why he took down his video. Now, yesterday I was just laughing and and just in disbelief of what had happened again, which is the thing that always happens with this company within television. But I know I have a lot of new viewers, so I wanted to explain to you, for those of you that haven't been around, why that is. Right? It's just not people out there trolling on the internet. It's just not people making fun of the company for zero reasons. The real factor here is that Intellivision did raise $17 million, right? And they did that with about over 9,000 people, 9,400 around there, whatever the number is. And I would say to a good extent, most people would do it again, right? Just because they're Tommy Tallarico fans, just because they wanted to see the Intellivision. Most of them putting in $1,000, investments, right? But that's not everybody, right? That's not everybody. And there's a small minority out there, small vocal minority, that what happened to them is this, right? And this is frustrating for them, embarrassing. This is something people don't admit to, especially when they lose their savings, right? That we're hoping to use for retirement. And look, financial education here in the U.S. is actually very crappy, right? It isn't like it is in other nations, like Asia, for example, and other countries. There is no financial literacy programs here, usually in public schools. So, a lot of Americans find themselves, at the end of their careers, ready for retirement. And a lot of Gen Xers, and this is why I'm familiar with it, guys. A lot of these people come from my age group, right? They're not ready to get retired. The only thing they might depend on is Social Security, and they really don't have much put away. 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That's the sad truth. And when this opportunity came about, and these guys started talking about, Tenx Returns, right? So you would put in $1,000, you might be able to get $10,000 back. You put $10,000 in, you might be able to get $100,000. Well, that's a great way to start your retirement, guys. You started with $100,000, right? But they heard it from somebody they trusted. This is how these things sometimes work. You have the name of Intellivision, to up to this point was a trusted brand, right? Nobody ever thought of Intellivision as a scam prior to Intellivision Entertainment getting involved, whether it's Tommy Tallarico or the rest of the gang here. And there's quite a few, right? More than should have took that chance. They put all their savings into this project because they believed Tommy Tallarico. Now, the anger that you see is because the people that actually believed them, and you can say that they're dumb, you can say they're stupid, you can say whatever you want, okay? And yes, of course, you have to educate yourself when it comes to investment. Trust me, look, guys, I was making the videos telling everybody it wasn't a good idea, right, back then. But I was a small channel. I think I had like 300 subscribers or something. I don't know. I'm still am a small channel, right? I'm talking about this. You know who's going to listen? Nobody, maybe 100 people. So it's going to happen again, right? It's just the way we're built here. And these people that put everything in, what do they have now? They have nothing. They have less than nothing. They lost 100% of their money, right? There's people that can do it, right? Smash JT has the money to do it. He invested well in GameStop, for example. And there's other investors out there that have the funds to do this kind of stuff, where they take a calculated risk, and if they lose it all, $10,000 is a lot of money, but if it only makes out 2% of your total investment portfolio, it's not really a big deal, right? It's like gambling $2 out of $100. But for these Gen X investors that invested everything they had. It's 100% loss. Is that their fault? Yes. Shouldn't they known better? Yes. But the anger comes from trusting people that you thought were trustworthy. There is a chance of risk, always in investing, right? But they're not financially educated, number one. Number two, they trusted the person telling them that this was a possibility, right? So if you remember back then, I mean, who are you going to trust? Some YouTuber that's, doing math formulas for you and telling you this doesn't work. Look, they're going to have to, sell more than the original Xbox in order to make it for you to get those 10x returns like I was doing back then? Or are you going to trust Tommy Tallarico, a person who's a legend in the video game industry? You don't know me from a hole in the wall, right? All I'm doing is having people think, at least think, double think, what have you. But the community at that point was all, pro Tallarico, pro the Intellivision Amico. And if you tell anybody anything, you're a hater, right? And it has nothing to do, like I've always said, I supported the idea, I supported console. I just didn't support the shitty business practices. Once they were saying this, once the math didn't add up, right? And I was just telling people, look, 2 + 2 here doesn't equal 4. Look at that number. But that was an uncomfortable truth, right? For every time I said that, I had, as a 300 viewer channel, I had guys that, had like Mike Mullis, right? Being upset. He's well over 1,000. Calling me a bottom dweller. You had other YouTubers out there that are agents of the company, the Atari Creep and everybody else, being upset for the things that I was saying. Based on mathematics, nothing else. The numbers didn't add up. I wasn't calling Tommy Tallarico any kind of names. I was just saying that the operation didn't make sense. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not one of these people that say, oh, I knew from the very beginning. Some did, and to their credit, great. They guess right. I go by data, right? Because that's the way to sort out the wheat from the shaft, right? Anybody can have a lucky guess, but if you take the evidence of what's being presented, you can know whether or not something is true or have the actual probability of becoming true based on the data they give you. And in this case, it didn't add up. But most people were excited about the project. They thought it was going to happen. It seemed like an excited project. And, well, here we are. We have some of those people that lost 100% or most of the money they had put away for retirement. It's gone. Those are 17 million angry dollars out there, right? Maybe not all of them, but there's just enough out there to leave a very sour taste in people's mouth. And they don't have any recourse because they didn't invest it in television. They invested in Fig. Fig is either broke or about to be broke because of the investment on television. As they put it, you can go back to the video that I made on that. I don't know if they ever got refunded or, or if the parent company is helping them out. I don't know what the state is currently. But we're talking about the anger here. So if you invested all of your money, if not most of your money in this project, and you can't sue in television themselves, you can't sue Tommy Tallarico, all you can do is sue some, third-rate LLC company that is used as a buffer for these kind of scams. All you have is the internet. All you have is voicing your frustrations on the internet. All you have is the comment sections. All you have is, videos that you can make. All you can have is waiting for one of these people participating in this shit show to show up somewhere so you can give them a piece of your mind. That's all you have. And look, I don't hold anybody, anybody that's a regular person, not the agents of the company, right? But anybody that's a regular person out there that, was mad at me for saying this, and they wrote me directly. I mean, they had no problems in telling me how wrong I was about my numbers and my faith in Tallarico and what have you. I'm not mad at any of them, right? I was just trying to tell them what I knew, and you know, if it was between believing me and believing Tommy Tallarico, at that point, I mean, who are you going to believe? Some guy on the internet or Tommy Tallarico, a legend in the industry? So, I mean, that I completely understand. After things happen and you're still defending the company, if you're still defending the shit show, well, that's something completely different. Then you're just an idiot. But no, I mean, that's basically what happened. And there's a lot of pent up anger out there, not from everybody. Like I told you before, most of the people that invested in television would do it again. They would invest in anything that Tommy had to put out there, even though a lot of people, you know, call him a lot of names. The truth is, guys, he's got his fans, and it doesn't matter what he does. They're willing to risk 100, 1,000, whatever amount of dollars it is, in order for him to produce something, because he is entertaining, right? Just like I was telling you before. I mean, would I give $100 to keep the shit show going for another 3 years? There's a lot of people out there that would, right? They just, even if they don't say it out loud, we're enjoying this, right? We're enjoying the watching them turn themselves into pretzels, trying to justify the unjustifiable. It's just enjoying. It's the same thing as watching DSP trying to make money on the internet, right? It's just a clown show. But within that clown show, there are people that are very, very angry, right? And that's why I put the video right here. I'm sorry, I put the thumbnail from these store owners beating this guy that is stealing on him, right? Because this guy, if you watch the video, he's not only stealing, he's cussing at them, he's berating them as he's stealing, right? And you know, and a lot of people feel this way, because when this was happening, as everything's crumbling down and they're complaining, they're calling them haters. They can't be haters if they entrusted you with the money. Haters don't give you money, right? And these people got done wrong. Should have they known better? Yes, of course. There's a sucker born every minute. But if you want to know why the levels of anger out there are what they are, and why some people go to the extreme sometimes in their comments, it's specifically because of that. They have no other recourse. All they can do is yell at the wall. And they wish they could be that store owner and whack some of these guys on the back with a stick, because that's really how angry they are. I hope that explains to you a little bit of the frustration out there that certainly some investors feel that are active on YouTube when they make their comments on the internet. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.